My name's Sarah Hurst-Williams. I am the manager of the home dialysis team in Gwynedd, North Wales. So I manage a team of 8. We train people to do their own haemodialysis and peritoneal dialysis within their own home environment. When we were first informed of the patient on home haemodialysis at present, we were informed that his needs were extremely complex and it was going to be quite a challenge to evolve the service around his needs. We did this using a collaborative approach with the learning disability team. The patient was transferred from a paediatric hospital into the learning disability hospital. On arriving to the hospital, the gentleman was wheelchair bound, extremely poorly, sleeping probably about 20 plus hours a day. The process of setting up the patient within the learning disability department was very much done as we would have done setting a home haemodialysis patient up in their own home. We obviously had to gain authority to do the electricity and plumbing works within the hospital environment. We used an external agency to do that work for us, and they had to work alongside our works department to make sure they were happy with the work that they were going to have to put in place. And our main focus was on trying to get him well dialysed, feeling better, but just taking one day at a time. And I'd like to think that him coming here has really opened up so many avenues to him now. The 5 team members that we initially trained to do this patient's dialysis have all worked through set competencies and have been signed off by our team. Once they're signed off by our team, they're able to dialyse him independently without any of the other team members supporting them within the learning disabilities facility. This is our self-care area in Gwynedd. This is where we train everybody to do home dialysis at home. And this is where the learning disability nurses did their training alongside the patients. And so we have 3 stations. As you can see, the staff are really busy at the minute. And this picture is one of the pictures we just show to the patients when they're starting training, just to show that everything's done in baby steps and that looking too far ahead is just too complex.
So my name's Tracy Clement. I'm the ward manager for Welsh in Arbenigwyr, which is a learning disability inpatient service treatment and assessment unit.
My name's Alison Ryan-Jones and I'm the deputy ward manager here on Welsh in Arbenigwyr. So our patient had dialysis 3 times a week prior to coming here, and that was in the more kind of traditional going into hospital to have dialysis on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday. As our patient got used to having more frequent dialysis for longer, his energy levels picked up. He doesn't have to take the wheelchair anymore. The bike that he's got, he goes on, he can cycle. We do have a handle that attaches to the back to help him out if needs be.
So this is the equipment that was installed. So we actually have the dialysis machine, which we call fish tank, and that's what the patient's preference is for it. We have the RO machine. Next to that, we have a water purifier. Then we actually have in the background there 2 blue tubes. They are your water filters. The drainage system actually goes round the back and behind the bed. We currently use a bed for the dialysis sessions because the patient himself chooses to sleep whilst he's on dialysis.
This is the same setup that you or I would have at home if we needed dialysis. So you don't need to be a registered nurse to learn how to use this machine. People up and down the country have similar setups in their house. So it's probably familiar to quite a few people.
I knew absolutely nothing about dialysis before this. I was aware that people did have dialysis, didn't know how frequently. I was aware that some people had it at home because I had neighbours that used to dialyse when they were children. So other than that, it was a completely new skill set.
With the support of the renal team, we've been able to overcome all that fear of the unknown. And like Tracy said earlier, once the penny drops, It's not a massively complicated process, and a big aspect of that is that we've got a phone number 24/7, and it is a renal nurse on the end of that phone that know these things absolutely inside out and can straight away say, you haven't opened that clip, or you've got something upside down. And it can be the smallest of thing, and once it's right, it's okay. And no question is a stupid question. The only stupid question is one that you don't ask.
For me, learning about the home hemodialysis gives people flexibility. So it's not just flexibility around what time of day or night someone actually dialyses. It gives that flexibility of the individual having control over their treatment. So you're not dictated to by times and appointments. So it's not just about the personal quality changes in that individual's life, it's giving them control as well. And I think the biggest step for anyone is actually having a go and not being scared of having a go.
Transplantation of this gentleman is now looking extremely likely, and that would be a real icing on the cake to the end of this story. He now walks independently. He has a bike in the Learning Disability Hospital, which he likes to ride around the grounds with one of the staff members jogging alongside. He's been out flying kites. But within a couple of weeks of getting daily dialysis done, he was able to eat a lot more phosphate in his diet. So his phosphate binders have been stopped. His potassium limitations have been freed completely. And certainly from a fluid restriction, that's not a problem at all. He's been eating bananas for the first time in years and really enjoying that. I would recommend home dialysis for everybody. Whatever their needs may be, it's about finding ways around those needs. I'm still very much of the opinion everybody is suitable for a home dialysis. And it's making those barriers easy to overcome, certainly from using our professionals working alongside us to family, carers, outside agencies. I would thoroughly recommend home dialysis for everybody.